Hello all you Conan Exile fans out there, it's Granny Gamester back with another beginner's guide to Conan Exiles, and I am playing on the PlayStation 4 single player. And in today's guide we're going to talk about horse saddles. Yeah, so let's get right to it. Now you need to get them in your feats, so we want to go there, then we want to scroll over to armor, and then we're going to scroll down to novice saddle maker, and at level 20 you can see you'll be able to make your first saddle, which is the Warhorse Saddle Light, and this saddle is designed for war. You will also be able to make your saddler's work table, and that can be handcrafted, and this is where you're going to craft all your saddles. And then you can make the rhino saddles. We're not going to cover those because I believe they're basically the same as horse saddles, but I might cover that at a later date. And the Kordavian tack and saddle. Then at level 40 it's the journeyman saddle maker, and with this you're going to be able to make the Warhorse Saddle medium. Then at level 60 you're going to be able to make the Ionian scout saddle, and this is a DLC, so you won't be able to do that unless you have it. And then at level 60 again, you will be able to do the expert saddle maker, and this will give you the Warhorse Saddle Heavy. And then last but not least, at level 60 you're going to be able to make the Savage Cavalry Saddle. So let's take a look at all of these. And first of all, saddles are not armor for the horse. No, all armor is a function of the horse, and all horses have an armor of 53 unless they get a bonus for armor in their stats. And then it can go up to 85. So it depends on the horse you have, and I'll show you that in a moment. So you kind of wonder, well, what do saddles do? So first of all, your saddle... your Warhorse Saddle Light at level 20 are for allowing you to take repeated blows from the enemy. That's what these Warhorse Saddles are. So let's open this up and let's look at it here. So if you were charging enemy lines or PvP, or you're taking damage from a lot of enemies surrounding you, whether they're rhinos or elephants or what have you, this is the saddle you want, because it's going to be harder for them to unseat you. That's what war saddles are for. But you can see with this one, the armor of the horse is 53. The sprinting endurance cost for this saddle is 20. And this does not have any endurance damage multiplier, this saddle. So this is, again, the Warhorse Saddle Light. And its main purpose is for defense in the way that you cannot be unseated from your saddle. So then we have the Warhorse Saddle Medium. So let's take a look at this. Now you can get this at level 40, and it functions the same as the Light, only it's better for defense. It has a sprinting endurance cost of 20, but it also has a damage multiplier of 0.2, which means it is harder for enemies to unseat you in combat. So this saddle is a little better in that respect than the Light saddle. And then we want to go over to the Warhorse Saddle Heavy. Now this is also gotten at level 60. And let's open this up and take a look at it here. Now this again functions the same as the Light and Medium saddle, and it has a sprinting endurance cost of 20. But it has an endurance damage multiplier of 0.6. So this is the saddle that is best for defense. And while using it, enemies have a much harder time unseating you. So this is the very best of the Warhorse saddles. Yeah. And as you can see with this horse, the armor for this horse is 85. And it has nothing to do with the saddle. Let's take a look at our horse's stats. And if you look on the left-hand side on the bottom under agility armor bonus, you'll see he has a bonus of 32. And that's where that is coming from. It is not the saddle, it is the horse's stats. So this horse is actually better for a war horse than some of the others. So next we have the Kordavians Saddle. Now this set was actually in the beginning a reward for a community challenge. So they did allow it after a while for everybody to actually have access to this. So this saddle actually has a larger contact area and allows for many hours of riding with this saddle. And this saddle is good for maneuverability, yeah, because it's light. So let's open this up and take a look at it here. So you can see the armor on this horse is 85. The sprinting endurance cost for this saddle is only 15, so it's not going to cost you as much endurance while you're sprinting. And it has an endurance damage multiplier of 0.3. So it's not the worst, it's not the best, it's kind of middle of the road. So it's kind of okay for that. So again, this is the Kordavians Saddle. And then next we have, and this one is really pretty looking, we have the Ionian Scout Saddle at level 60. Now this saddle is good for scouting because it's light and it allows the horse to move more freely. The horse can run further without becoming tired, and it can turn quicker with this saddle. It also has more speed than the Warhorse Saddles. So it's definitely not a good saddle for battle though. No, I wouldn't use it for that. It's good for maneuverability. So let's open this up and take a look. So as you can see, this horse also has the bonus for armor. And the sprinting endurance cost is only 15 for this saddle as well. So it will take less endurance to sprint with this horse. And the endurance damage multiplier is 0.3. So it's again kind of middle of the road. And then last but not least, we have the Savage Cavalry Saddle at level 60. Now this saddle is designed to intimidate. It's really kind of a scary looking saddle. It's got these spiky things sticking out, and yeah. And the girth is all made out of bones, and yeah, and the face mask for the horse is all bones. It looks like a pelvic bone. Yeah, it's pretty scary looking. But this saddle allows your horse to accelerate as fast as possible. It also allows them to reach their greatest speed potential, but just not for a long time. It's basically a great getaway saddle because it's good for speed. Yeah, so let's take a look at this one. And you can see this horse does not have any bonus for his armor. So his armor is 53. The sprinting endurance cost for this saddle is 23. So it costs the most endurance for sprinting. But it has an endurance damage multiplier of 0.4. Yeah, so it's a little better than some of the others, but not as good as the best Warhorse Saddle. Yeah. So yeah, this is the Cavalry Saddle. So there's all your saddles, guys, and what they actually do for your horse. They're not about looks. There are some benefits to these saddles. So decide what you are going to use your horse for. Do you want to just travel and get there fast, or do you want a war horse because you're going to be entering into battle with him, etc., etc. So yeah, again, guys, if you found this helpful, give me that big old like. And if you'd like to see more, just subscribe. And if you hit that little bell, you'll be notified when I post my next video. Well, all right, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, GG out.